around here.
I don't understand.
Yeah, us either. We're listening to it.
Yeah, it's never done that ever, so I'm not sure.
It just started out of nowhere.
And your mic, it sounds like you're in a tunnel.
Yeah.
You're far away. You're not, but you are.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest wrestling podcast in the universe. That's right. It's me, Zooplex City. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boys, what's going on? I'm here with the captain and Scythex. We are going to talk to you guys about everything going on in the WWE right now. A couple other things that we're going to talk about tonight, but I want to start off with biggest news of the week. The Judgment Day has a new title, and it is the ultimate heel himself, Condom. Oh, it's gone, Fred.
Is that
whatever
bad?
it was? You just fixed it. You just fixed it.
Okay.
Well, and your mic is good. You
sound good.
You sound clear,
Okay.
bro.
Somehow StreamYard switched where the mic was coming from. I don't know how.
Where was it coming from? Your laundry room?
My controller. It somehow switched to the controller.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't
Good.
know.
I like that.
Oh, so Judgment Day is now in possession of the NXT North American title. A couple of things with this. First off, Condom gets his first singles title.
Go.
He's been a tag champ before with Ray, right? But this is his first singles title. You have Mommy with the women's champ and Damian Priest sitting there with the Money in the Bank briefcase, ready to become a champ at any given moment.
Mm-hmm.
This is big things going on for Judgment Day. I said it before. We thought the Bloodline was going to be the ones draped in all the gold. Turns out it's the Judgment Day, baby.
It might be. It might be.
I'm a little out on the Judgment Day as a whole. This storyline is very weird. They're like fighting every single week, but adding titles at the same time. So that to me throws me off. Because normally when they start to fight, they start to lose the titles, right? You saw like a little bit of an implosion with the Bloodline. They lost the tag titles, right? So like, It's a little weird to me that they're fighting and gaining titles and gaining Money in the Bank briefcases and gaining this. I think Damian Priest is definitely bland. It's tough. He's good in the ring. He's dominant. I like to watch him, but he's very bland. His mic is bland. His facial expressions are bland. Condom is the GOAT. He is the GOAT. I'm sorry. I don't care. He's the GOAT. Mommy. Okay. Pronounce it Mommy. Okay. She's
I got no problems with her.
She's obviously she's a beast. And she's drop dead gorgeous at the same time. So, so I love her title. I just wish she would have good title matches. Unfortunately, the women's division is in shambles right now. And
It's a disaster.
There's nobody for her to go up against. So she's just holding the title as like this will stay with me until the day I die. Or they go out and sign Sasha Banks again. Because that's about it.
It's wild that there's literally no one for her to have a rivalry with right now.
And the whole, and I gotta say, because no one really knows this, but Zooplex, we all have a chat and we all go back and forth, and he said this, and I thought he was right, and it was pretty cool outlook on it. They're definitely fusing the brands together, right? Yeah. And you said
the draft meant absolutely nothing.
It meant nothing, but you said it was pretty cool to see a lot of these NXT crossovers.
Yeah.
And I do agree. I like a lot of it. And Condom is the GOAT. If you missed it a minute ago,
Zooplex, I don't know if you heard him the first time.
I want to make sure I tell you a minute later.
You're starting to sound like Butters right now.
And I will say it again soon when it pops back in my head.
What do you think, Fred? Dom in his first title here.
GOAT.
You guys know how I feel about Condom. As a character, I just think it's god awful. But I will say I'm not stupid on and blind and deaf on what's going on. He's getting some of the largest boos a heel could get at the moment.
Yeah.
So it's
I think
working. It's obviously working for him. But it's working to a point where he can't get better with his character because he's not allowed to talk. He's not allowed to do anything. He's just getting booed out of the building.
it's so good though, man.
He can't grow. It's like I don't know if his mic skills are improving because he can't say anything.
Yeah.
I do think we are seeing the beginning of the end of Judgment Day.
I agree with that. I think it's going to go longer than you think, though. I think it's going to go longer than you think.
Maybe, but I honestly believe we are on a path of Finn Balor either becoming the champion over Rollins and then having Priest screw him over and taking it right from him.
Nah, it's not going to go that way.
Or Priest is going to cash in at the moment that Finn has a chance to win it and take it from him that way.
I think actually the exact opposite. I think what's going to end up happening is Finn and Seth are going to wind up in a battle, whatever it winds up being. They're going to come up with some crazy match, whether it be Hell in a Cell, or it be a ladder match, or whatever the fuck, right? Finn's going to win the match. Seth is going to win the match outright, and then Finn. He's going to be beat up, whatever. Seth's going to be beat up. Damian then cashes in on Seth. And the reason and then Finn's going to go down the jealous, like mad Prince Balor route. Because the whole thing is you have to keep Damian at this point where he keeps his word and he doesn't cash in on Finn.
That's why it's interesting because you can have this crazy battle, right? And let's say it's the no DQ match, whatever the hell they're doing, right? And Priest gets involved, Judgment Day as a whole gets involved. They beat the hell out of Rollins, and if Finn can essentially win the belt, right? He can pin him right here, 1, 2, 3, and then Priest doesn't screw necessarily. He doesn't cash in on Finn. He still cashes in on Seth. He's just beating Finn to the punch and getting the 1, 2, 3 before him. Yeah,
but I think that still has him go back on his word, and then it doesn't have the same pop. You know what I mean? Like Finn then has a legitimate gripe. You want Finn to have no legitimate gripe to this and just go crazy with jealousy.
That would be a great, in my opinion. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like that would be a great catalyst to start the implosion of the Judgment Day, of just having Finn go ballistic on everyone.
In my opinion, Finn Balor needs to be the demon.
Yeah.
He needs to come back, win as the demon.
Yeah.
And let Finn cash in Damian cash in unsuccessfully. And the Judgment Day implodes because Finn Balor wins the belt.
And Damian goes back on his word.
And Damian goes back on his word, tries to cash in on him, doesn't. He goes on his own way, right? And now the 3 people left in the Judgment Day all have championship gold for a little bit. And I think it'll help give Damian Priest his own little singles push. Him, like, being this enforcer without being an enforcer. He loses to Bad Bunny. He wins the money. It's a weird, like, a thing with him.
Yeah.
And I think he used the Judgment Day to build up some sort of like dark character. And I think that now that the character's built up, you can sort of just do what you want with it. I
think the opposite. I think he winds up being the leader of the Judgment Day when this is all over.
Really?
Because
Finn's out?
I think Finn's out because I think what's going to happen is there's another piece to this whole thing, which no one's really been talking about, but it's JD McDonough.
I think the name's been thrown around too much.
I don't think it's been thrown around that much, dude, because they had that one meeting. It's not like it's every week. They're not forcing it down our throats. You know what I'm saying? But I think JD McDonough is the guy that ends up pulling Finn out basically, and him and Finn have a then rivalry with Judgment Day.
Interesting.
I
Interesting. I don't care either way. Screw them all. Condom's the goat. That's all I know.
It's interesting because you brought it up. You know, them going down a lot of this cross promotion stuff from the NXT. You know, I think we're going to see a lot more of this for this year. I think Triple H is really pushing to try and get eyes on NXT. You know, we saw Seth go down face off against Breaker.
Yep.
We saw Carmelo Hayes come up to the main roster. You know, and they've all been having like great matches, great outings. Everything looked fantastic. So I think they're really trying to get a lot more eyes on NXT and push their PLEs also. Great American Bash is coming up soon.
Yeah, for NXT, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and the card looks good about what's on it. So I mean,
is that before SummerSlam?
It's before SummerSlam. Yeah. It seems like they've widened. It seems like what they've done is they've widened the time between the main roster's PLEs by like 2 weeks, and then they're adding in NXT ones instead of doing it the same weekend. As because what was happening was you would have the NXT takeover or PLE, whatever it is, on the Saturday, then the main roster one on the Sunday. Now they've kind of widened everything a little bit, giving you more space in between the main rosters ones, and they're adding in a weekend where NXT just gets their own straight up. So
makes sense from a marketing standpoint too.
Yeah, absolutely does. Although
so much at the same time.
Yeah. Although I do miss kind of like WrestleMania weekend when WrestleMania was on one night and you would have, you know, the Hall of Fame, you know, Friday, NXT Saturday, WrestleMania Sunday, because it was a good like lead up into WrestleMania. But for the rest of the year, it makes sense. The you know, but I mean, we got to see how long this lasts with Condom being the North American. I'm assuming he's gonna have the title for a while, because it's probably better to have him go down to NXT to work out all that stuff, like Fred was saying, because he'll have a better chance of being able to grow and work on the NXT stage while also staying relevant on the main roster.
Yeah.
I need Condom to have a 1,000-day reign with this. I need, I'm not asking for a lot. Okay. There's a few things I need. Okay. Number one, I need a very long title reign with Condom. And actually, I need him to have multiple belts. And I say this, and the reason why I'm saying this is because he's hated so much that if you give him multiple belts, it'll amplify the hate. Like, how could they do this? How can they keep giving him belts? Give him the belts, okay? All of them. I don't care. Give him the tag belts. Something. All right? That's number one.
I actually, now you bring that up, a couple weeks ago, they Condom challenged Zayn and KO for the belts, and I actually wanted them to win.
Absolutely.
The arena would have exploded. You would have seen the heads just popping all over the screen.
There would have been a pandemic-style riot in that building. It would have been amazing. I would have loved to have seen it. And I'll tell you, it's like, I really, you know, did you watch the interview Seth Rollins had with what's his name?
Yes.
Paul. Yeah.
And how like he literally said Condom is the greatest heel of all time.
He didn't say that.
Yeah, he said that.
No,
he didn't say that.
He said that.
He did not say that.
Guys, come on.
What he said was it makes sense for him to be a heel.
No.
He didn't say he's the greatest heel of all time. Stop it.
He's the greatest heel ever.
He's not.
Okay.
He's not.
And the fact is guys live for that their whole life to just get that reaction.
Listen, I agree. I agree that he's a great heel.
Give him all the belts.
He's not the greatest heel of all time.
All time.
Oh, no.
Who's a bigger heel?
The Miz. The Miz is a bigger heel than he is.
The Miz is close. I like the Miz also. He's an asshole. By the way, did you see the show he did in Mexico? Did you see what happened recently?
No.
So he like came out and did a impromptu his Ms. TV, and he tried to do it in Spanish.
Oh God.
Bro, he said like, some shit like, where he says, when my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut. He said something like, when I hold my balls, your mouth goes shut. Like he like said the wrong words in Spanish. Bro, it's fucking
Knowing Miz,
classic.
he purposely said
No,
it
no,
back.
Yeah, no, like
bro, but I have to find where I saw it. I was fucking dying, bro.
That's hilarious.
I was crying, like reading the interpretation of what he was saying, like how he was like
Closed caption.
it was like what it translated to. I'll find a few guys, but it's literally the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. And it really just goes to show, like, The Miz is a legend. He really is a legend. I'm going to find it. And did you guys hear about KO's injury? Not to get off topic. But
no, I didn't hear anything about him being injured.
I heard
Is that why he's been just not really, like Sammy runs the entire match and then KO just comes in at the end and stuns somebody?
Yeah, I heard it was like a legitimate injury that is keeping him from wrestling.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so I mean, I hope
Good.
it's
Maybe
not.
they'll have to give up the belt.
I don't know why you're so down on these guys. Both you guys.
I'm over it.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with them. I'm good with them never having the belt to begin with. But I I want them to give the belts up for sure. You can get rid of that immediately. I can't find this.
I'm just not a Sammy fan.
Yeah, I feel like they're a team that can. The problem that they're doing right now is they don't have them mixed in with the other tag teams, right?
They don't have them doing anything other than like getting in other people's way.
Yeah, like what I feel like is instead of using them in that regard, they should be using them to bolster up the rest of the tag teams in the division and giving them like a more like a John Cena US title every week, like open challenge.
Yeah,
to them. You know what I'm saying? And
especially
letting them.
When you have somebody like KO having the belt and all he wants to do is fight.
Yeah. But I think their character change that they've made with this whole like KO just being angry and just yelling at shit. I love it. I mean,
KO has been fine. It's just I'm very, very bored of the new Sammy, the new / old Sammy, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know.
I've never liked them. I've never liked them. Like,
he was entertaining when he was in the bloodline, trying to find his way, like being the outsider, trying to find his way. But now I don't know. It's just it's not working.
But can I ask you guys a serious question? How many times do we have to recycle the relationship with them over and over again? They love each other. They don't. They love each other. They don't. They love each other. They don't. They beat each other up. Then they're back. They stab each other in the back. Then they're back. Like how many times?
Yeah, KO is going to stun him soon. It's going to happen eventually.
This time around, it worked only because of the bloodline story. But if it wasn't for the bloodline story, their story wouldn't work. And that's the problem with their story.
It'd be irrelevant. Yeah,
it doesn't work unless something else catapults it forward. And we're at the point now where it's already washed up. Like they have like the weird entrances, the two separate entrances.
Yeah, I
hate
together,
it. They're not together. One's mad, one's happy. They're both great individually in the ring. We've talked about that. I can't stand watching KO wrestle.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Because it's just not. I'm sorry.
He hates because he's got a belly. That's what it is.
I can't stand it.
He's like, he looks like a dad. He looks like just a regular dad. He's out there doing flips. He's out there doing stutters. Like, I can't stand it. Blah, 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 blah.
It's amazing.
Dude, he's a fat guy in a ring. It kills me. But he's not.
And he's doing flips.
But that's the thing. The thing that kills me about it is he's not actually like Otis, right? That's a fat guy who I actually enjoy watching wrestle. He's just a big fucking dude. I like that. KO literally just ate too many bagels, and he just has a
He's
round
just
belly,
a regular guy who likes
and
to
I
fight,
can't
man.
stand it. No, I can't stand it. Every wrestler's a fucking regular guy now. Daniel Bryan, this guy is a regular guy. Every guy's a regular guy. Enough with the regular guys already, dude. Get rid of this guy. Sami Zayn literally is built like me. It's awful to watch. He takes his shirt off. He's flab. He's got a pure dad bod with this scraggly hair on his chest, just like me. I don't want to watch me in the ring. I don't want to watch it. Get him off the TV screen already. I'm so done with watching stupid dad bods all over the fucking ring.
This is why the captain is the Vince McMahon of the podcast, because he wants to. He's so stuck in the 80s. He's been
Dude,
stuck under the shadow of Hulk Hogan since '84.
But
he can't get past it, man.
How many guys are gonna look like the three of us that we can be excited to watch? You got Otis.
That's why I'm excited to watch
Reed,
KO.
You got KO. You got Sami
KO
Zayn.
gives me hope that I can like move like that one day.
Dude, for God's sakes, can we get rid of some of these guys, please?
Yeah, start with condom.
Make some room. Watch your mouth. Watch your
I
mouth.
do want to switch over since we're talking about tag teams. I don't know if I know you guys don't watch AEW, but have you seen the greatest new tag team of all time?
Is
Oh,
the
God.
MJF tag team?
MJF and Adam Cole?
Adam Cole, yeah.
What they're doing over there.
I've been seeing highlights of it, and just the stuff they're doing is just bonkers.
It's insane. But
I
it's
saw
so
their dance competition that they were doing or something like that. They're just having a good time. It's fun.
It's not even that. They're filming these vignettes behind the scenes where they're like, the storyline had started with MJF trying to like convince Adam Cole that they could be because they're doing a tournament. AEW is doing a tag team tournament to see who's going to be the next tag champ or go on to face the next tag champ. Whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So MJF is like convincing Adam Cole that they're going to be best friends and that they're going to go and win this tournament and become the tag champs and all this shit. And it's just videos of them like out in the town, and MJF's just like, "Come on, buddy, we could do this. Let's go get these whores." And he's like, the stuff that they're coming up with is genius, and also MJF is he's evolved into like probably the smartest guy in the business right now, because what he's doing with Adam Cole is absolutely, if you get a chance, go down the rabbit hole of this and follow this storyline and watch the videos and stuff, because it is like right now they have gotten over what their finishing move is? The deadliest tag team finishing move of all time. You know what it is?
God, what is it?
The double clothesline. They've managed to get the double clothesline over, and it's believable. Like, they stand in the ring, they got a guy on the beat up and everything like that, and Adam Cole just looks over him, MJF points at him, and the whole crowd just screams, "Double clothesline!" And they get it, and they deliver a double clothesline.
I'm trying to find this. Miz TV thing, because I'm telling you, it's got to be the funniest thing. I can't believe I didn't send this to you guys. I'm an idiot. It was the funniest thing that I ever read or saw in my life. Gosh, man, I'll find it. It's gonna pop up. I know it'll pop up. Doesn't your phone listen to you? Hey, phone.
Yeah, it'll pop
the Miz
up.
Mexico, whatever,
No, it's gonna offer you Mexican vacations. That's what.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, that's true. Probably will. No, I know. I know it's getting very, very good reviews. The tag team itself is getting very, very good reviews. I know that. But it's AEW as a whole product, man. It's like how many times are you going to watch Moxley just bleed in a ring? Seriously. How many times are you going to watch, the BCC, right? Like fight Omega and his crew. Like it just, the thing about it is, it's not that I want there to be another successful wrestling company, because it only benefits WWE, right? Competition's healthy and it makes them push even further. But like, it's just not, there's very little there, man.
There is. You're right.
It's
Besides,
very tough.
like what they're doing over there is, look, they're putting on wild matches on a weekly basis, right? Not even just their pay-per-views, but like you turn on Dynamite or what's their other show? I don't remember. I remember what they call
Collision,
it.
right? Collision?
Collisions, whatever the hell they're calling it, right?
Yeah.
At any given time, you can turn them on and see a 5-star match going off. Like, it's wild, the matches that they're putting on. But there's no storylines behind any of them besides really MJF.
Yeah.
MJF is the only one doing actual Rampage and Collision. Yeah. It's not Dynamite anymore, Butters. Wasn't there a Dynamite at one point?
Yeah, Collision. I knew it was clear. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's besides MJF, there's really no other actual storylines going on.
Yeah. Besides like MJF, there's nobody that I care to follow in AEW at the moment.
I mean, there's some really talented guys over there.
Oh, no, I know. There's people that I liked from WWE over there, but
yeah.
AEW, it's MJF, and then there's everybody else. Like at this point, for me.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, there's a lot of talent that they have over there. A lot of guys that I think would actually do better in WWE. But they're not going to flourish in AEW because they don't have the right platform. Like you had a guy like Adam Cole for so long, and until they paired him up with MJF and let him go off on the mic and show that side of him, he was basically doing nothing in AEW.
Yeah.
Where at one point he was a top guy in NXT, and they just didn't want to bring him up to the main roster because, like John, he's just too small. Like John would say, he's just too small of a guy.
Too small.
Which, I mean, that mentality is also, I think, got to change, because you've got a lot of smaller guys that can do really, really good work if you give them the chance to.
Not going to happen.
You don't think so?
Speaking of small guys, Ricochet and Logan Paul is going to be a fun match to watch.
It's definitely going to be a fun match to watch.
It's going to be a fun match to watch.
Ricochet is getting buried on the mic by Logan Paul on a weekly basis, though.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. He is.
This guy has no mic skills whatsoever to go up against Logan Paul.
And his voice sounds like my daughter. I'm not a TikTok guy. Okay, Ricochet. Shut the fuck up. Thanks, Ricochet. Thanks, bro. Thanks for your input. I feel like I'm talking to my daughter. Thanks, bro.
That match is gonna be fun though.
But he is.
I think they're gonna do some crazy things together.
There's gonna be a wild spot in that match. There's gonna be a wild spot in that match.
There's no doubt he's filthy in the ring, and he has been for a long, long time. And Ricochet, if it wasn't for the fact that we'd have to listen to him on the mic.
Yeah. Look, I'm a huge Ricochet fan, but I'm the first one to agree with you that his mic skills are fucking terrible. Like, this guy, I don't understand.
By the way, I do have to say, my feelings on accents.
Mm-hmm.
And for anybody
who's strap in, guys.
For anybody who's going to go back and watch this or listening right now, I'm looking off to the right because I'm trying to find something for us that I wanted to talk to the guys about. So obviously I'm clearly listening and engaged, but if you see me looking off to the right, that's what I'm doing. But you know how I feel about accents. They're fucking awful. And there is zero room for anybody with a belt with an accent. But I can tell you this. Did you see the most recent promo with Gunther and McIntyre?
No, I didn't actually. I missed that one.
Okay.
What was that,
So-
Monday?
Yeah. So
I missed Monday.
So
Yeah, I haven't watched Monday yet.
I have to admit, Gunther was very good. Very good on the mic.
That must have been a nightmare for you to watch two accents going
No,
back
no,
and
no, no.
forth. with each
No,
other.
the only thing worse. No,
Two
no, no.
accents arguing
No.
with each other.
The only thing worse was when you had Sheamus involved in the ring before their triple threat match.
Oh, there was three accents. You must
I
have been
was-
losing your mind.
No, I was cutting my wrists, but
Oh God.
but it was as brutal as it gets when you have Mercado, what's going on? Evans, what's going on?
Yo.
What's
but-
going on, fellas?
But I can tell you that so the two guys that come out with Gunther, what's their names? The blonde-
Henchman 1 and 2.
The blonde and then the bald headed dude, right? So let me tell you,
Giovanni Vinci and
yeah, and the other one.
Ludwig Kaiser.
Okay, so first of all,
Kaiser.
Da Vinci or Giavinci or Giovanni or whatever the bald-headed guy, he actually didn't say a word the whole
He never
time.
does.
Nobody stood in awkward silence. And then on top of it, as the two get done discussing whatever they were discussing, Kaiser literally stepped in between them and just started to talk on the mic. And the best part about that was what's his name? Graves in the back,
Yeah.
emulating their accent. And he sounded like the fourth member. And Adam Cole was like, "You are very good at that." And he was talking as if like Gunther was talking. It was the craziest segment, and it was amazing. But
I gotta
Gunther-
watch it.
It was very good. But Gunther essentially was like telling McIntyre, like, "You suck at what you do. You've always sucked at what you've done. You can ride on my coattails if you want." But the way he said it with the accent was, bro, it was actually very, very good. And I was like, wow, surprisingly enough, I could have listened to another segment from him. And you know me, like once the accents come, I'm like,
I know you're so out.
You checked out.
I mute it. You know I do. Becky Lynch talks, mute, mute. I don't even care. I look at the subtitles at the bottom and watch their mouths move and pretend it's a regular English accent. That's how I feel. I want everything muted. I just want to see subtitles when they talk. But it's good. And the same thing, by the way, with Finn Balor.
I appreciate you, Brad.
Finn Balor.
I agree with the condom.
No,
Bloodline, you need to watch your mouth, bro.
Condom is, guys, it's been about 5 minutes. He's the GOAT. Dude, does it not look like Finn Balor hasn't slept in maybe 7 years?
I think it's on purpose, man.
Dude,
I really do. I'm telling you, they're
Did you see
heading
his promo?
down.
Did you see his promo with
Wait.
Seth on Monday?
I haven't seen anything from Monday.
I didn't watch Monday yet.
Mm,
I haven't had a chance to watch Monday yet.
He. Oh, there you go. Corey Graves was like a twin of Kaiser. See, it was, dude. It was, bro.
Wait, before we go on to that, have you seen? So I've found the real GOAT in the business right now, and it's Samantha Irvin, the ring announcer.
She's great.
She's the greatest ring announcer we've ever had.
She's great.
Um,
She's great. She's great.
have you seen her TikTok or her Instagram
No,
where she throws up like selfies of her introducing these guys?
no.
So if you ever listen to her, when she announces Imperium, she's like Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci. She does this shit. Like when she introduces Chelsea Green,
Mhm.
she goes Chelsea Green. Like she
Oh,
does all
God.
these. I
She's
never
dynamite.
picked it up.
She's doing a selfie while she's doing a
Yeah,
live announcement.
yeah, she's like doing while
That's
she's doing
funny.
live announcements, she's like doing a self-recorded video. It's fantastic.
She's good. She's good at what she does for sure.
Oh my god, amazing. Absolutely amazing.
But I gotta tell you the promo spoiler. I don't even care. they're going obviously, face to face, and the crowd wasn't, because Finn Balor was sort of just talking over them, and you know how during
Well,
Seth
you have to
Rollins'
at this point with Seth.
Well-
That's the problem, right?
when Seth Rollins' songs, oh, and there's that down, he would say what he wants to say. They would sing again. Then he would say what he wants to say. And eventually you could tell everyone was like, all right. And they just they stopped doing it. And there was a line in there that he was like, he said something like, you've made me wait for 7 years. And now I'm going to make you my 7-year bitch.
Nice.
And he dropped a crazy line.
Nice.
And it was a very dominant line, and it finally showed that okay, he's here. But this is a terrible, by the way, I'm not understanding, guys, and maybe you have some clarity to this. He waited 7 years to face Seth Rollins and loses, and then immediately gets a rematch again, with the same gimmick of you made me wait 7 years.
Yeah.
How many more times do you get a rematch because you waited 7 years? I don't understand that, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it was a misstep for them to do the match. I think they should have found somebody else for Seth.
Yeah.
For because this is a SummerSlam match. This is a SummerSlam match. They shouldn't have done this already at Money in the Bank. They should have just found somebody else for Seth for Money in the Bank and then pushed this for SummerSlam, especially because you had a longer gap in between Money in the Bank and SummerSlam. So you would have had the 6 weeks to really build it up.
Yeah.
And make it what it had to be. You didn't need that whole other match. I think that other match was just to more build up the Damian Priest versus Finn Balor type of thing. Because you saw at the end of that match where Priest came out and then Balor started getting freaked out because he thought he was going to cash in.
Matt,
and then what's going on? Math. We talked about it earlier. I think it's going to be.
We were all
Priest.
over the map, all of us.
Yeah, I think a lot of us are saying Priest, but we're a little split on
routes of getting there.
Yeah, on who he's beating. I personally think that Seth beats Finn, Priest cashes in on Seth, and walks out the champ.
I think Finn beats Seth, and Priest unsuccessfully cashes in. So I think Finn walks out with it.
I think Finn wins and Priest backstabs and cashes in.
So none of us think Rollins is walking out with that belt.
No.
Yeah.
The reign is over. Okay.
Which is wild because you asked me any other week, if it wasn't for Money in the Bank, I'd say Rollins all day, right?
Yeah, Finn Balor to me, the character, the whole thing about Finn Balor is washed up in my mind. It really is true. Once he lost the Universal belt initially and he came back and he was no longer the demon, I just don't think there's any momentum behind his character. To me, he's definitely a developmental guy. He can be in the ring with a bunch of these new age wrestlers that are coming up that are a little bit undersized, right? He's going to be an asset for them with all the European wrestlers. I don't see him. And I know he's a big Triple H guy, development guy. Big.
Yeah. So, I mean, H loves him.
Yeah. So I don't see him. I see him and Edge in the same light, I don't Edge is given a lot. People love him. He's a professional. He's a Hall of Famer. He's everything and more, but there's nothing in the ring that's appealing about him anymore. And that's the same how I feel about Finn. It's just time. If they switched Finn out for Condom, I'd be happy.
Of course you would.
Condom gets the belt.
Of course you would.
Condom gets the belt.
Fucking guy.
Priest cashes in.
Yeah.
Priest cashes in.
You're worse than Butters, bro.
Priest cashes in unsuccessfully, and Condom has the World Heavyweight belt and the North American Championship. And I And same thing
He
with
also
AJ Styles.
cashes in on Mommy and takes her belt too, right?
By the way,
Might as well.
No. Mommy and their
No,
package
you
deal.
might as
First,
well. You gotta
first of
go
all, I
for it.
need you guys to really. I'm so tired of the disrespect. This guy has faced hard time. Okay. Did you see?
Yeah.
Did you see the escort he came out with at WrestleMania? 5 COs.
Stop. Please don't.
Oh
Please
my
don't.
God.
I spent more time in jail this week than he did.
Bro, come on, man. Have you guys seen
This week I spent more time in jail than he did.
this guy is he's built tough. And I'll tell you right, he's built tough. He's
Yeah.
built tough. And you guys better start recognizing because it's starting to the disrespect is getting real out here. And honestly, man, I'm getting tired of it. They need to give him more belts. And I'm glad he's out of jail finally. Really, to be honest with you. I'm glad he's out of jail. And
I'm glad he's out of jail.
I'm glad they let him out. I don't know if it was on bail or good behavior or whatever, but it was very I'm blessed that he's with us. And Condom is the greatest heel of all time. All time.
Okay.
God.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you guys haven't given me a heel that's better.
I told you the Miz.
He's not a better heel. He's good. Very good. He's not a better heel.
He's better.
Miz has never done tough time.
Roman Reigns.
He's never done tough time.
I didn't say anything inaccurate. All I'm saying is this. Yes, Roman Reigns is a phenomenal heel. Yes. I enjoy that.
Oh, man.
Dude, the guy did a hard time, bro. What's wrong with you? I don't know. It's so funny. You guys are disrespectful, man. Honestly, it kills me.
Oh, dude, I'm tearing up, bro.
Who's never did tough time?
Dude, he's got the teardrop. Talking about. He's probably got the spider web on his elbow.
It's on his face in a Sharpie, bro. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
That's even tougher.
Yeah.
No one writes on their face with
It's like
a
the
Sharpie.
Halloween cuffs you walked in the ring with.
Dude, you guys just don't. You guys just.
He walked out of Party City with a Halloween costume that said Cholo inmate.
Yeah, facts.
Man, listen. The disrespect is so real, but it doesn't take away the fact that the teardrop tat is tough. That is tough. I agree. It is tough. He came in with 5 COs. Figure it out. That's how scared his dad was.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just so tired of disrespecting this room, man. You guys better start respecting him. It's bullshit, bro. It's really
maybe when he gets a chance to speak, we can hear what he has to say. We'll give him a chance.
First of all, you would be so lucky to hear him on the mic. Okay. But the fact is he's such a legend. He's such a legend that he doesn't have to
He's
talk.
a legend now. Gotcha.
The real issue for him is going to be what happens when, like, the heat dies a little bit and Judgment Day breaks up and he has to actually start talking on the mic. Then what happens? Because he's not ready for that.
He's ready.
Nope.
He's ready. And by the way, it just goes to show you that he main evented all 3 shows in 1 week, and he can carry this company on his back. It's true. What's the problem?
I can't.
Everything is the problem right now.
What's the problem?
Oh, Jesus.
What is the problem?
Tribal combat. We have tribal combat coming.
Tribal combat. Moving on.
Tom should be involved in that. He should be the tribal chief.
Okay. Pump your brakes a little bit here, guy.
I don't even know. This is so off the rails at this point.
He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
Oh, the captain broke me, people. He broke
No.
I can't even listen to this guy anymore. We
Bro,
stopped listening.
All I'm saying is this. All I'm saying is if they would
Between
just
him and Butters, I can't even log on Facebook anymore.
Condom,
It's just I'm scrolling
90% condom.
Condom
it.
should beat Roman Reigns and become the next tribal chief. I would
Stop.
subscribe to that all day.
Stop it.
So that kind of leads into where what the next topic is. The next two topics, actually.
The only story that matters in wrestling.
No, there's a couple that are mattering, but this is, I mean, the bloodline for me personally, I'm already sick of this Jay versus Roman bloodline thing. Like, because we saw this 2 years ago. Like, we've already seen this before.
Agreed.
And it's like it's nothing new. We've now
like
circled back around. Roman's
like
title
it
is
was a different
100%
person back
irrelevant
then,
at this point because they have no one to compete for it, and you know they're not going to let him end this historic title run on a Money in the Bank cash in.
Better not.
Well, no, I mean, and they shouldn't, and to rightfully so, they definitely shouldn't.
And it
do
better
that.
not be to Jay.
I swear, if I saw Priest try to cash in on Roman, I'd be like, "What is this company doing?"
I'd shut the TV off.
Yeah,
What is this company doing right now?
It definitely shouldn't happen that way. We're all in agreement there. But this current, like, now we're going back into tribal combat, and it's like, okay, now we got Jay versus Roman again because we haven't seen this play out. You know, do you think Jay gets the job done and beats Roman at SummerSlam?
I think it's very possible, and I think it's interesting. The first time they went at it, I feel like Jay was like he was a different character to the bloodline. So now he has this, major evolution of himself, and now he's actually believing that he could lead the bloodline. He has more of a reason to fight for it, I think, and I think it makes the story a little more interesting for me. And I'd hate to see Roman lose it like that, but at the same time, I would love to see him lose it like that because I don't know who else could really challenge it at this point because everyone they throw at him, it's just a random title match.
You would destroy Roman Reigns' character.
Yeah,
it's kind of already there. We're kind of reaching that point.
No, because what's going to happen now with this?
Well, the first step to destroying Roman Reigns' character has happened already because he got pinned.
Yeah, but there was a lot that obviously went into that, right?
Yeah, of course. And the tag match, it wasn't
a solo. The whole
wasn't a solo match. He still has the title.
Correct. And
sidebar, real quick. Sidebar. The two worst teams in baseball just finished, and the Mets won. Just throwing that out there.
Good. They finally won a game. Nice.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't even care. I don't even care. It's both of those teams are just
it's just
anemic,
awful,
and they're abysmal to watch. And it's as bad as it gets. Whatever.
Yep.
But you know what? I just feel like a Roman. I think what they're trying to do now, because I think they realize, like, oh, we may have made a mistake with this pin, which obviously, like we were talking about, Sportskeeda actually had said, like, they made a big mistake with this. They have Roman beat now all three of these guys individually and show his dominance and end the storyline of if somebody within his own family can beat him, he's really the head of the table and the tribal chief.
Has he wrestled solo?
No, I'm saying he's going to. There's no doubt. But he beats them all. He's definitively the head of the table, the tribal chief, and loses to another wrestler in WWE. Essentially, the true, because now you can't have Roman Reigns fight somebody else when everyone's confused about who the head of the table is, right? Like everyone's like, should I fight Jay?
They gotta clean up in house first.
Yeah, and once it's clean, then Roman can lose his belt to Cody Rhodes or whoever it may be, right? So, I
think it's gonna be somebody else.
So, listen, the fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're almost at 1,100 days. We're creeping towards that point. We are literally going to be less than a full calendar year soon away from Hogan's record. And
I definitely don't think he makes it to Hogan's record now.
I do. They don't keep this that long for no reason. There's no way.
I still think the only true way to end Roman would be a Rock comeback and having a match of some sort to really.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen.
I know. That's why I think this is the next best thing. Is if he's going to lose, I think having Jay be the one to do it is the best way to go. And then you kind of rebuild the bloodline and build new stories.
I'll tell you the best way to do it. I'll tell you the best way to do it.
Kind of go off solo for a little while.
You ready for it? Roman beats all 3 guys. The Rock comes back, okay? And when he comes back and they have their match, the entire family comes down to the ring for the match. Everybody. Rikishi, everybody comes down to the ring. They surround the ring. They all have their lays on. They watch. Crazy entrance. They do the whole Samoan dance. They do a whole thing, right? We know The Rock's not getting a title run.
Mm-hmm.
The Rock beats him. When the match is done, all the elders come in the ring. The Rock gives the belt to the family. They put the belt on the mat and they all walk away. That's it. And then they have a battle royal for the next potential champion. They have this big tournament. It lets everyone get involved because we haven't seen many people involved. That way it gets all these wrestlers involved in the next way to find the next champion. Roman's reign is done, right? No pun intended. He gets to take some time off and go away for a little bit. They have a massive tournament. It shows like this big culmination. The whole tribe is there. And The Rock gives the belt. They all come together. They put the belt on the mat. They all walk away together. And that's it. And it's like The Rock paying homage to the real head of the table are the elders. You know, I was the big dog to beat you because I was doing it before you, Roman. But these were the big dogs that did it before all of us. And he pays homage to them, gives them the belt. They put it down. Done. They all walk away. Roman gets time off. That would be fucking sick. You want to talk about a story? Sick.
Yeah, it'd be great. They bring Umaga back from the dead. They bring Yokozuna back from the dead. But it's not going to happen. Why can't it be the guys that are alive, dude? You see what I'm saying, bro? This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about.
I like where you're going with it.
I like where you're going with it. It's a good idea, but it's not going to happen. Like, The Rock's not coming back. If The Rock hasn't come back yet for this, he's not coming back now.
Yeah, the Rock's chance was when the WrestleMania was in LA. There's no better time for that to happen.
It's not a better. It's not. I did a lot of thinking about it. I really did. I understand. We all felt the same way about it. We did. Zoop. You and I said the same thing too.
Yeah, of course. Look, from the beginning of the Bloodline, I said that the only way this ends properly is with The Rock. Right? I said it from the beginning of 3 years ago when this fucking thing started.
Yeah,
I said the only way Roman Reigns can legitimize himself as being the actual head of the table is he has to defeat The Rock at some point. Because we're just all supposed to sit here for the past 3 years and act like The Rock doesn't exist because Roman's in the driver's seat, right? We all know that The Rock coming back is the real storyline that this should end. I just don't think it's going to happen, dude.
I don't think it's going to happen either. That's why I was saying Jay would be an awesome alternative and kind of.
But it can't. He's an underling. He's an underling.
Yeah, it can't be Jay.
That's the point. It's to elevate Jay.
Or by the way,
solo.
Or another way. Let me ask you this. Or another way, sort of passing the torch, is they actually do a tribal tribunal or whatever it is, right? And the elders are deciding, and they actually say that they all believe Solo is the one to do it.
Possible.
And the two of them fight, and Solo wins in a WrestleMania moment or something along those lines, picked by the elders. I think the only way the Bloodline makes any sense, and I did a lot of thinking about it, and I started to get away from the Rock thing. Every time they mention the elders, I'm like, there's nobody else in WWE, nobody, that can actually bring back so much history and prestige as the Bloodline can. Mm-hmm. And to have all of those people And by the way, think about how nostalgic it would be for all of us, right? Generations down. And to have them all in the same ring and essentially make the decision, it would be like, dude, it would be so. And WWE is all about storytelling, right? AEW is about their 5-star matches. WWE is about the storyline. You want a storyline? Then let's get a fucking storyline, okay? Let's have what we want to see. We talked about it at nauseum. Roman Reigns has beaten all these people. We've seen these matches. We're doubling down. We've seen him beat Jay. We haven't seen him face Solo. It's coming. We've seen him beat up on Jimmy. We've seen all this.
Yeah.
The fact is there has to be some wow factor, and the wow factor is in what we haven't seen before. And we haven't seen what they've been saying, which is the elders.
Long term, I really think, and this is going to sound like everything you're saying. I get everything you're saying, and the elders coming back and this, that, and the other thing, and everything. I think the elders do get involved as far as pushing Solo, but I think Roman ends up beating Solo, and then Roman is sitting at the head of the table with no table. Right now, he's out on his own. He's got to fight somebody, and I really think now, after seeing what I've been seeing for the past few weeks, that the guy that they're going to push to take Roman's belt, and this is going to sound crazy, not Cody, it's not Seth, it's going to be LA Knight.
That's a stupidest comment.
I'm telling you right now, because what we're going to have...
It would make more sense if Jay won.
Listen to me.
If Jay won, then you can have Jay.
No, trust me, I'm going to listen to you because I got to hear this.
If Jay won, then he would have the belt. He'd be tribal chief, blah, 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 blah. That I feel like that would open more doors for other title matches for other people, for somebody like LA Knight to come forward and challenge Jay.
Think about it right now. LA Knight, over as over could be, right? We all can admit that. He's having this crazy babyface run. He's undeniable.
He's buried for no reason.
But that's the thing. That's my point, though, is that it's not for no reason. He's getting buried on purpose. Okay? They keep giving him these opportunities. He's not getting it. He's not getting it. He didn't get the Money in the Bank. He's not gonna face fucking Theory for the US title. They're giving it to fucking Santos Escobar for some whatever reason, right? He's gonna start going on the Daniel Bryan run. Okay, and make him so big and so undeniable that when it happens at WrestleMania, it's going to be the biggest pop of all time.
I don't know.
Are you done? No, because that was awful. You're done.
You
right?
could think it's awful all you want. I'm just saying that
I just don't see
Let's
it.
compare it. Let's go down the rabbit hole. Number one, okay.
I told you the crazy theory.
Daniel Bryan's stupid. Daniel Bryan's reason why Daniel Bryan's movement worked, the yes movement, was because he was going against the authority. He was the little guy going against the authority, and he had the yes chant.
David versus Goliath.
And he had the yes chant that everyone could chant at the top of their lungs until like Seth Rollins' music, right?
Mm-hmm.
LA Knight, they're only repeating yeah and LA Knight. They're not just repeating it on repeat. Okay,
that's irrelevant to what I'm talking about.
No, that's a very big deal. What do you mean? The reason why
I was with you, and then I just completely got lost.
The reason why Seth Rollins' character is so epic is because of what the crowd is doing the entire time. So he doesn't win anybody over if Seth Rollins comes out and they put on a good match. He's a great guy. We love watching him. It's the fact that the crowd is able to dominate the entire time.
So you're saying that this doesn't make any sense because LA Knight doesn't have a chant?
Because he's never going to have a big enough movement.
I think he's going to have a much bigger movement than you think he is.
One of the most over people in the WWE right now.
He's having a big movement now.
First of all, if you saw his last, where he was
I thought you were going to say condom for a second. Where he was
kind of borderline, where he was kind of borderline like emotional, because you can tell that fans are enjoying what he's doing and whatever the case is. First of all, he's good on the mic. At certain spots, he's definitely better than others. Like he's clever, and sometimes I think he's like over doing his promo a little bit. And Monday night, if you haven't seen it, I want you to watch it because I'd like for you guys to like tell me what you think. But he cut this promo and it wasn't good at all, actually. And I love LA Knight. I want titles on him. I want him.
Yeah.
But it wasn't good, dude. And it was like he was trying to.
I mean,
he was
listen,
trying to
one bad promo.
I understand, but I think this is going to start
when the guy
happening a little
delivers
more.
every other week. You know what I mean?
But bro, he's delivering on things that aren't delivering. It's always my Money in the Bank moment gone, my WrestleMania moment gone, my moment gone. I'm chasing the U.S. Championship gone. There's only so many promos you can cut until eventually there's no more promos to cut, and that's when the crowd can either carry you through, like they did with Daniel Bryan, where every single time Triple H and the Authority buried that little guy, they refused to let him get buried. And if LA Knight can't put
pretty
together
much what's happening right now.
If LA Knight can't put together, if LA Knight can't put together big promos and doesn't have anything that the crowd can will to happen, there's nothing else that can happen. So you're not going to get anything at the end of this. So either they capitalize on this now and let him get a title and have the crowd finally give him his moment and be like, fucking awesome. And it doesn't have to be, it could be a little title built into a big title, right? Fine. Mm-hmm. He can step up gradually, or it's going to burn out. I'm telling you, it's going to burn out, dude, because he's running out of promos to cut, dude.
If they're waiting for WrestleMania,
they got to build them. Don't get me wrong. For this to work in the way I'm looking at it, I'm not saying now. They've got to build him up to face, like he's got to end up facing like Cody, or he's got to end up facing Seth, or he's got to end up like stepping up his game as far as the matches that he's getting, right? For them to build him. What I'm saying is they could build him into the guy that beats Robin.
Yeah, right? I mean,
I'm fine with it if it's his character, and it has to make sense. If it's his character, and you're telling me that the movement is so hot that he ends up like dethroning him, whatever, it would throw a monkey wrench into the operation because I couldn't see it happening in a million years. Would I want him to? Sure, cool, awesome. I like LA Knight, dude. I genuinely like listening to him. I think he does have like a unique voice that makes me feel like I'm listening to The Rock a little bit, right? And I think
very much has a Rock voice.
I think a lot of people have said that before.
Yeah, he's a everybody's calling him Stone Cold Rock.
Stone Rock.
It's
Stone Rock, yeah.
And by the way, that's definitely who he is genuinely. Like if you ever hear him talking regular, like he's just very like it's his voice. But I'm telling you, it's just you're watching it and you're like, and this is exactly what's happening to Austin Theory. Austin Theory, what came out of nowhere, he was Vince's guy. They tried to bury him. Then they brought him back up and he started to cut really good promos.
Yeah.
And then within a short window, they gave him that U.S. title run, right? Yep. They gave him the U.S. belt because they knew there's only so many promos this guy can cut.
I mean, I don't remember him cutting really good promos at any point.
No,
I thought he got better when they got him away from the selfie shit, but I don't think he was cutting the same type of promos that LA Knight's cutting right now.
No, he was cutting some. Oh, okay.
He was doing.
You know what I'm saying? Like
LA Knight's very good on the mic.
He was good for Austin Theory. Like he was doing better promos than what he had been doing previously. Yeah. But they weren't great promos.
He improved significantly, I thought. But I don't know. I don't think you need to make the leap to Roman or to Seth or Cody. Like, I don't think.
I think you guys are looking at it from LA Knight right now, and I'm thinking about it from what LA Knight could be 6 months from now.
But 6 months from now might be too late, is what we're saying.
I agree.
I say I don't think it is. Not if you build them up the right way. Not if you build them up the right way. It's not.
Listen.
I don't know how much more built you can be. The crowd is
Raw.
way more into him now than 6 months from now. There might be a new guy. There might be something else happening, and they just shift their energy somewhere else. I don't know.
I mean, that's definitely possible. I'm not saying that that's outside the realm. I'm just saying, looking at it from a long-term standpoint right now, because what I've started to do with the Bloodline storyline is, like John had said, months ago, is that we have to stop looking at it from the perspective of the next pay-per-view and start looking at it like 6 pay-per-views down.
Yep.
And So that's what I've started to do with the bloodline, and like all this tribal combat bullshit, whatever. All of this right now is just to further extend Roman's title run without him having to actually put the title on the line against anybody. That's all this is. Like, this is just, we're wasting time right now. We're in garbage time, right? Of Roman's title run. Like, he needs to burn days. He's like if what you guys have been saying about him trying to reach Hogan is true, they need to burn at least 200 days of time of him not fighting legitimate people.
Yep.
So that's what this is going to be. This is going to be him against Jay, him against Jay, him against Jay, him against Solo, him against Solo. Jimmy's going to come back. Him against Jimmy, him against Jimmy and Jay, him against Jimmy and Solo. Like, we're going to spend 200 days doing that. In that time, you need to build up somebody else to be the guy that winds up taking the belt off of him. Now, you got Seth, you got Cody. We've seen Cody's stuck in Brock Lesnar land right now.
I still don't understand what they're doing with that.
He's going to be there for at least another pay-per-view, right? If not one more after that. You know, we're assuming that Seth doesn't even make it out of SummerSlam with the title, right? So those are, you know, which he might. We don't even know what's going to happen with that, but we're storyline wise, we're all thinking he doesn't make it out of SummerSlam. So you have two legitimate guys that can go up against Roman at some point later on down the line. You know, I'm just saying that if you were going to build somebody up, that's not the obvious route. I think LA Knight is the guy that you could do it with.
I just think it has to be, if you're not going to do what I said, which they're not as good as I am, the creative, so they won't. Because like Condom, I'm a fucking legend. But
I think you don't think they've thought about it? I think they've called The Rock every week for the past fucking year.
I don't think they've thought it through.
Can you come back, please?
Like I just laid out in here.
And he's like, no, I'm making Jumanji 7.
Like, like I just laid out
getting canceled for Fast 6
on whatever I just laid out here. That whole storyline, there's a 0% chance anyone's clever enough to think that whole thing through. But that's number one. Number two, and I could say that with relative ease.
I literally said that storyline 3 years ago.
You've never said that day in your life. Don't fucking lie. That's number two. That's number one.
Shit.
Number two, the guy who has to actually beat him to bring it full circle, and only recently about what he said, and I think it's probably makes the most sense. Seth Rollins said that the only reason why there's a second belt is because Roman Reigns is not defending his belt. So there has to be another belt to have a fighting champion. And I think Seth Rollins should be the one to beat him and bring that belt back to every, you know what I mean?
You're not wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like Seth definitely can be the guy to beat him.
Yeah.
And there's so much history between him and Seth that it makes a lot of fucking sense for it to be Seth to be the guy.
Yeah.
And it would go from no title matches.
I would like that more than LA
fighting
Knight
every week.
Fight how much I like LA Knight right now. I would love that. But I think LA Knight, creative needs to capitalize on this. I think sooner rather than later, because I think it's going to hurt it in the long run.
I would love to see LA Knight go up against Gunther.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, listen, I get it. Like,
absolutely.
You want to see him. We all want to see LA Knight do well. I just think that they're pushing LA Knight to a much bigger storyline than we're seeing right now.
So some 40-year-old guy who's, you know, worked like the underdog angle with the crowd, coming out of nowhere is going to be the one to dethrone a 4-year title run because he's over versus guys who have actual storylines with Roman Reigns. Like, that's what you're saying? I just can't see it. It's so far-fetched, bro.
I'm just saying, you're looking at it from we're seeing.
I love him.
You're looking at it from what we're seeing of LA Knight now. I'm saying what LA Knight could be.
Okay, no, I'm saying
you know what I'm saying?
Let's fast forward it, bro. Fast forward it.
So if you see for the next 6 months, you see him go up against Seth, right? Have banger matches with Seth, and he could lose, he could win. It doesn't matter.
He's losing every match. But go ahead, he's losing.
You think he's going to lose every match? He's
Yeah.
been losing every. He's been losing every match, but
And
at some
he'll
point you have to.
continue.
At some point you have to start him winning.
When?
I mean, that's my point though. Is that in the next 6 months you have to build him up to start winning and go on a run.
So he. So I want you to
Garbage.
understand the other side where Scythe and I are looking at this. So he has a chance to win the Money in the Bank, not up against big names like Rollins, but just win.
Mhm.
He loses. He's got a chance to win a intro match to fight for a U.S. title and
Mhm.
loses. He
Yep.
fights for all of these low mid card things and loses. Now you're saying he's going to get such a push. Not only did he get to the top, he's over. He gets such a push that now he wins against Seth. Now you see what I'm saying, bro? It's so like, huh? Like,
Yeah.
what do you like? They
It's
catapult. They all of a sudden
don't make
decided
sense.
overnight they were going to catapult him. Not even to
Yeah, I
stardom.
don't think they've decided overnight. That's the thing. I think this is the plan from when they started seeing how much heat he was getting. They were like, all right, we can give him Money in the Bank. It'll be a great, like, quick Money in the Bank run. He's great on the mic. It'll be fun to watch him fucking the Priest to start this storyline off, right? And we can save LA Knight for something bigger down the road. You know what I'm saying? Now we got the U.S. title one. Everybody thinks that he's going to get the U.S. title with Theory. That's what everybody thinks. Like you said, it's the obvious thing, right? So they've been pulling away from the obvious from us a lot. Now they've pulled him away from that. So, okay, where does he go from here? Are they going to it's either they completely bury him or they're setting him up for greatness.
I think they're just going to bury him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if they're burying him, then it's a mistake because he's fucking over, bro.
The dude was a heel. The crowd turned him into a babyface.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
He's a legitimate heel.
But you guys
Now
remember
is the
Daniel
time
Bryan was a heel.
to pounce on that.
Well,
Daniel Bryan
was a babyface turned heel.
Yeah.
And then
Daniel Bryan was a heel for a very, very long
I
time.
know, but he came in as
The crowd turned him a babyface.
Dude, he came in as a babyface. There's no if ands or buts about it. And he was corny. And he was super corny. And then he went the other way around. And then the crowd got him back. He was a cheesy ass character that wasn't over. And it was like a failed mistake because the back room, Vince McMahon and whoever would not let him.
He was the default character when
I'm talking about even before that.
Wrestler.
Before that, he came in as a straight heel. The goat face shit, everybody bragging on him constantly. He was a heel for a long, long time. The crowd turned him babyface.
Bro, he had a very short, trimmed beard, and every time
he had no beard when he came in.
When he talked, and it was like this little when he got whatever, and they only
no. See, I'm talking about
the big one.
I'm talking about when he first came in. He had no beard. No beard. He was completely clean shaven. When he came in with Nexus.
Yeah, but the whole group, that's not heel. The whole group is heel. No, I understand what you're saying, but like all those guys in general, the group, right? Them beating up on John Cena and whatever, but like that group, yes, it was a heel group, but when they split up as individuals, they were all
he was a heel. No, he was a heel, dude. I'm telling you. If you go back and watch, he was a heel. He's a heel for a very long time. And then he slowly started changing and the crowd started getting behind him. And the crowd turned him face.
I don't remembering it like that.
I know. I don't think that's correct.
I'm telling you, man. Everybody remembers it because the biggest moments of Daniel Bryan's career were him being a face. Right? Like remember, he was the guy that turned his back on who turned him face was Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's the one that turned him face. Because he was a heel, and then they tried to get him to join the fucking Wyatt family. And then he turned his back on the Wyatt.
He was a face, and they tried to get him to join the Wyatt family and to see the dark side. He was a heel.
No, he was a heel, and they tried to get him to join the fucking Wyatt family. He turned his back on the Wyatt family, and that's what turned him face.
I don't know.
I thought he was face, then went
that's
Wyatt.
What started his
face.
That's what started his big face run.
Me too.
Because the whole thing was him joining the Wyatt family was because he was still playing a heel role, but the crowd was starting to get behind him. So remember, Bray Wyatt was like, "You need to join the Wyatt family, embrace the dark side, because he was going over to the face side.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And he was full blown face after that.
This is as far fetched
Until he started
that
fucking until he finally won the title and started that Eco Warrior bullshit.
This
he went back to heel.
This is as far fetched.
No, I'm telling you, man.
I mean, listen. According to your mathematics here, Condom, he won the NXT North American Championship, and because they're building him up and he's got heat, he's gonna fight Roman Reigns tomorrow.
No, not Condom.
It's listen, dude. It's not. LA Knight's gonna get buried, and it's gonna suck. It really is. It's gonna suck that they're gonna bury this guy. And I'm telling you, go back to Monday night and watch the promo he cut. It was bad, dude. It would like.
I mean, listen, I'm not going to judge the guy on one bad promo too. Especially when he's giving us so many great ones. You know what I mean?
I know, but the reason why was because that he's given us so many good promos with something to give us, right? And I just feel like he's running out of those things to give us. I don't know. Just sucks. That's all. I hope not, man. I hope not. I like LA Knight. I want him to.
Like I said, the only way it works, my theory works, is if they build him up over the next 6 months. If they don't do that, then it doesn't work, right? Like, I'm not saying he can go fight Roman now because he's not in that position right now to do that, obviously. Yeah. I'm just saying they have to do something with him over the next 6 months that builds him up to the point where you have the ultimate heel versus the ultimate babyface. Right? If they build him up to that status. Then you have basically Rock versus Stone Cold.
Oh, wow.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you build
now
that
LA
rivalry.
Now LA Knight
No. I'm just saying that you build that rivalry into that.
Can you see this?
Yeah, we got it, brother.
So this is
I can barely see that.
You can barely see it.
This is Daniel Bryan's career of when he came into WWE. And his face and heel turns and things like that.
Yeah. So he's flopped multiple times.
He came into the company, though. Can you please can you read that for me, Oos? For the
August
people in 24th, the back.
2001, he was a face.
Till when?
Till 2016.
Yeah, so Johnny Butters, do me a favor. Do me a favor. You do your fucking homework. How about that? Okay, bro? I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I'm tired of people who think there's some fucking fans. Do your homework. Do your homework.
How about 2001, he was still in OVW. You weren't watching OVW.
Please, bro. The guy
no,
has
please,
been a
motherfucker.
There's no time.
You don't even know what OVW was.
And face and heel. And face and heel.
He came into WWE as a face.
Whatever the hell that is. I don't even know what that is.
A tweener. And that's 2023, by the way. That's what you are in 2023.
He came in.
So you're a tweener in WWE in 2023. Can we all agree? Sir, what are you? Are you a face or a heel? What year is it? Yes, I'm a tweener. Thanks. Okay. That's when I cannot identify as either or. Yes. And by the way, listen, Johnny Butters, if you want, I'll take you under my wing. It's a great one. Okay. And I'll teach you the ropes.
Why don't you take him under your teardrop?
I swear to God, you and Johnny Butters have to get matching teardrop markings on your faces.
Bro, you won't do it.
Listen,
you won't do it.
If you don't show up to the SummerSlam watch party with a teardrop Sharpie on your face,
I will.
I'm gonna be so disappointed in you.
I will. I'm actually gonna put it with permanent markers, so when I have to go to work with it. Dude, at the end of the day, you have to have I think we can all agree you have to have a mega star beat Roman Reigns to end in absolutely just epic title run that will reset the record books for the better, right? Because I just believe that everything, Hulk
I
Hogan.
still don't think he makes the Hogan. I really
He
don't.
does.
I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure either.
He does. He does.
I think you're a little off on this whole like them wanting to erase Hogan too, because they've kind of pushed back on that because they still put Hogan in a lot of stuff, man. Like if they wanted to erase him, they could have erased him like they did with like Benoit.
No, because Hogan's still alive and still talking about him carrying the company. There's no way.
I'm just saying that even with the card sets coming out, there's still Hogan cards in them. They could have left him out of that if they really wanted to bury him.
There has to be, because he's still relevant in our minds. There has to be, right? Like we'll always look at Hogan the way that we'll look at Hogan. Anybody who's ever watched wrestling, now these young bucks don't know Hogan, but for us, right?
That's true.
We talked about WrestleMania moments. What was your number one WrestleMania moment, right?
Yeah.
It's all of ours. And if it's not, you're not a wrestling fan for as long as we've been watching, this industry for. And the fact is as long as Hogan's able to get on a mic and talk about his Andre WrestleMania moment and what he did when he went to the NWO, creating the NWO, and what he's done everywhere. And the match versus The Rock and passing the torch. How many epic moments with Hogan? In order to get rid of Hogan, two things have to happen. And I'm not saying this maliciously, so please, people, just fucking keep your panties on. He's got to die, okay? And you got to start erasing his records. And that's the way to do it. And I'm not wishing death on anybody.
Yeah, but it also like technically doesn't erase his record either, though.
No,
it just moves him down a list.
Down one.
Correct, but he won't be in that prestigious air. It'll be Bruno Sammartino, and Roman Reigns. So you have the
is Hogan number 2? I thought Bob Backlund was number 2.
No, Bob Backlund, but I'm saying you'll have the crazy history, right?
Yeah,
those years and years ago, and like pre-Hogan and then post-Hogan. And you don't have to have any of that anymore. It won't be pre or post-Hogan. It'll literally be WWE history from, 70s, 80s, current. You won't have Hogan running 40 years of wrestling, which he claims to do. So just my opinion, I could be off. I'm just saying it makes a lot of sense the way that a lot of people are talking about him with the racial slurs and, with his daughter and the things that he's done in the different industries and blah, blah, blah. And every time you talk to him, he's the fucking guy, right?
Yeah.
You saw Stone Cold's reaction to Hogan at the Hall of Fame induction. None of these guys like this guy.
No one liked him. Well, I mean, Hogan also, for him, like for decades, he buried talent. That's what he did.
Yeah.
Like NWO, as much as we like talking about like the glory days of fucking NWO and everything like that, all they did when they went to WCW was bury that entire company. Like they boosted it up in the beginning, but then after a while, they buried every single piece of talent that was him, Nash, and Scott Hall. All they did was bury all the fucking talent there.
Yep, you're right.
Like they were in charge of their own creative at one point, and they would just give themselves titles willy-nilly. Like it was fucking wild, man. Like they're part of the reason why WCW failed in the end.
They are the reason.
Yeah. So like that's why the industry doesn't like those guys. Like even when you hear guys talk about fucking Nash and Hall, like a lot of guys didn't fucking like them. A lot of guys hated Hogan for years because of what he did to people.
It's crazy. I just think you gotta do away with it. You gotta do away with them. And even though Hogan was such a big deal to me in my childhood, I'm 37, turning 38, right? So like,
he's why you love blondes now.
He's
and hate
why,
people with accents.
Yes, yes.
Because you grew up as hating the Iron Sheik and loving Hulk Hogan.
I hated everything non-American. Yes. If Hulk Hogan didn't like you and you didn't wear an American flag, I hated you. Yes. And it was it is what it is, dude. It's just it's crazy, but listen, dude, and I'm not alone when I say this. We as people hold on to nostalgia more than even our minds allow us, where, Michael Jordan's the greatest basketball player of all time, right?
I haven't seen anybody better.
But statistically, he's not. But
Yeah.
so we hold on to that stuff, right? Like for us,
Yeah.
we're like, no, we watch Jordan. He's the fucking man. Yeah, of course Jordan's the man, but he's like, if you're watching basketball and you're looking and you're really comparing, you're like, what you're seeing with LeBron James, what you're seeing with LeBron James, but your mind will not allow you to accept it. And it's the same exact thing for guys from guys back in the day who are like, Joe Montana is so much better than Tom Brady. Okay, bro. Are you watching the game?
Yeah.
But you still understand, people, we have a hard time letting go. So I watched Hogan, and I'm still having a hard time letting go of the fact that he was able to do a leg drop and pin people, and it was somehow good. But
listen, as MJF and Adam Cole are proving right now, you can get a double clothesline over as the most devastating tag team move of all time. So
yeah, I'm trying to adjust. I'm trying to like really, like move on. And, even like you told me, the new wave of people is more of like that Ricochet style, right?
yeah.
And I'm trying to enjoy more of it. And it's taking me a little bit. I'm starting to, I guess, enjoy it a little more, but it's like, it's taking time, like,
well, you know what it is too? I think, because for so long you weren't watching certain things too. That for you specifically, I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
For so long you weren't watching certain things. So, and like what brought you back in was the old school type of shit that they're doing with like Roman.
Absolutely.
So for that, because I've been watching over the years, I've been watching the business evolve.
Everybody but Daniel Bryan, of course, but go ahead.
Oh, well done, Sarah. Well done.
I've been watching.
I'm still listening. Go ahead.
I've been watching the business evolve, so I've pushed away from the like John Cena is a perfect example. I couldn't stand John Cena for years.
I hated him.
Couldn't stand him. Hated him. Right. But then when he did that U.S. title run, where he was doing the open challenge every week and putting on a banger match on Monday night every week, and he was bolstering up new talent every single week, like I gained respect for him. And I was like, this is why John Cena is as great as he is right here. Because you're seeing him literally push talent while protecting himself, having great promos, and really, this is why he's the GOAT, And I was like, wow, so when you watch more of it and you start to understand it all and you see where this is all coming from, I think you get your opinions change on what we used to think.
It's crazy. How vastly different our views of people and how we remember it are. I only like John Cena because of what he was able to do in the ring, meaning like how crazy it was that he could pick up 2 or 3 guys for an attitude adjustment at the same time.
Yeah.
For how he can throw people around and how he he would somehow like roll over with somebody and then lift them up right over the roll and throw them on his shoulders and do things. And I'd be like, this dude is a freak of nature. And that was the part that I liked about John Cena. And I understand yours, but I never even thought about that. It wasn't like, oh, he buried or didn't bury. I was like, dude, this guy is just such a specimen freak. I'm like, this is wild to watch. And that's what it was with Brock Lesnar. He came in and he was just a freak.
Well,
right?
Brock's original run, that's what he was, right?
Yeah,
like he's just like, you see this guy, he's gigantic, he's fast as shit, he's doing shooting star presses off the fucking top rope.
Yeah, breaking his neck. Yeah,
breaking his neck. But he had done that before that. Like that's just the one that they were like, you can't do this anymore, guy. Like you're too big. Stop doing this.
Yeah, because he almost killed him and Angle.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Nah.
But like you saw that guy come in, he was just an absolute freak of nature. Like you didn't know what to think about this guy. Like who's gonna beat him, right?
Yeah, no, it's a weird thing what we Like I know so many hardcore Taker fans, and the way they remember is totally different than I remember Undertaker.
Yeah.
Like I remember Undertaker changing characters 38 times. He was the leader of the whole minion whatever
Ministry.
the
Ministry
ministry,
of Darkness.
and then he was coming out on the bike, and he was the old Undertaker with the purple gloves, and then he was the Undertaker, the brother of the brothers of destruction. I'm like, hey, Undertaker changed characters 400 times. I don't remember Taker like Taker fans remember Taker, right?
Yeah.
And it's such a different, and I think that's what makes wrestling so special. All of us are able to sort of just create whatever we want with it, depending on what we were going through in life at that time, what we wanted wrestling to be at that time, what we loved wrestling for at that time. And I'm very grateful for this title run with Roman Reigns. I told you, I like, and I say this with all sports, I love dynasties. I love dynasties because they're rare. And title runs aren't rare. People change titles, people win titles. We have a lot of different champions. Kofi Kingston, right? We have a lot of different champions.
Yeah.
Historical events that I can be a part of, which happen rarely. We weren't a part of Bruno Sammartino's. We weren't a part of Bob Backlund. We weren't a part of Hulk Hogan.
We were barely a part of Hogan's. Yeah.
Pedro Morales. We weren't a part of those.
Yeah.
We're a part of this, bro. And, we got to see Tom Brady's 10 Super Bowl appearances and 7 wins. That's fucking awesome. We got to see,
especially nice seeing the Giants beat them twice, but
all of that
awesome is not the word I would use.
But all of that does matter, right?
Yeah,
all
of course.
It's part of that, because we can look back and say, dude, it's crazy. He went to 10 and the NFC East was able to beat him in all of his losses, right?
Yeah.
Like you can go back and you're like, I remembered when Bledsoe went out with the broken rib and he came in, the punctured rib because of Mo Lewis. We feel like we're a part of history. And that's why I say that's what brought me back in, because I was like, holy shit, this is dope, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we can see title changes any day. We can see it all. We're a part of this now. And that's how I'm going to remember watching wrestling now. We remember WWE. We remember DX storming the gates of WCW. We remember Goldberg's undefeated streak.
Yeah.
But you know what we also remember? How fucking dumb of an ending his streak was when Kevin Nash ruined that whole thing. We remember that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like that is burned in our minds forever. We're like, wow, dude, they really fucked this guy and this whole storyline.
Yep.
And we're going over, and it's like cool that your view on John Cena is what it is, because I would never have thought about that. But also, and just to play back on it, like how you remember Daniel Bryan coming in and what you remember his character as and what we remember his character as. It's just so unique. And really, at the end of the day, obviously I can yell at the top of my lungs and act like a jerk off, but like, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant, but I'm just having fun with it. But it's, and also because Johnny Butters thinks he's like such a savant at wrestling, and I am the fucking GOAT, not you. But I just like to obviously like really just instill my dominance of all of this as the real tribal chief. But it's okay. I digress. But it's just, that's why wrestling's cool. And that's why we can all be where we are now, grown up as hell, working, families, married, careers out the ass, houses, mortgages, the whole 9 yards, and sit here and do an Oversell podcast and like try and figure out what dumb storyline is going to unravel in front of us. Like a soap opera. We're just going to fall in love with it. Yeah. We're just going to fall in love with it. And it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter because it's going to keep us coming back young and energized and fun, man. And that's what it's about. And I can't wait for Friday. Dude, I can't wait for SmackDown. I can't wait to see what happens. And And
What are we,
dude,
2 weeks out from SummerSlam?
Yeah, we're 2 weeks out.
we're 2 weeks out from what weekend is it? It's the 13th or the no
5th.
the
August 5th.
oh that's
Yeah.
that's 10 days out.
Yeah, 10 days out. Yeah.
Wow,
Yep.
that's epic. No, SummerSlam.
Yeah, Saturday the 5th.
They better deliver on SummerSlam. I don't want to see no
in
WrestleMania
Detroit.
Day 2 shit.
SummerSlam's the one, like, in all honesty, out of the big four, right? SummerSlam always seems like the one to me that just doesn't ever deliver.
I agree. That's why I'm
Yeah.
cautiously optimistic.
Yeah. But to be fair, last year's SummerSlam was fucking awesome.
Do you
Was that when
refresh my
Brock
memory?
was that when Brock lifted the ring up with the fucking
Oh, that was that. Oh,
I think that was last
a
year's
good one.
SummerSlam, right?
That was a good one.
That was definitely a SummerSlam. I don't know if it was last year's or the years before.
I feel like it was 2
definitely-
years ago.
It might have been 2 years ago. It might have been 2 years ago, but it was definitely a SummerSlam.
That's a good call. That was a good one. I mean,
Yeah.
which pay-per-view is your favorite?
Out of the big
Outside
four,
WrestleMania.
out of the big four,
The Rumble.
the Rumble. Yeah. Or out of any of them.
Any of them. My favorite pay-per-view is Survivor Series.
Well, all right. So here's the thing. If they go back to doing Survivor Series, then yeah.
I
don't-
always
I want them to do War Games separate.
yeah.
If I want to see classic Survivor Series, and I want to have a separate War Games pay-per-view because I think War Games is fucking awesome. It's an awesome style match.
It was.
Mhm.
NXT was doing like every NXT War Games that they did was fucking insane, and some of the best PLEs that we've seen in a long time.
So was
but-
WCW's, by the way.
Oh yeah, the ones back in the day too were wild.
Yep.
But for them to replace Survivor Series with it, I think was a mistake. Like I want to see a traditional Survivor Series match, and I'll agree with you on that. Survivor Series is definitely.
I think this year's Survivor Series is going to be traditional.
It's supposed to be, right?
Yeah,
I
think Triple H said if they did War Games every year, it would lose its specialty, its specialness, I guess. And
Yeah.
it's going to revert back to the Survivor Series, and they're going to fit in War Games somewhere else.
Like, think about
That's
this. If Charlotte can get the belt from Asuka, right?
I think that's going.
I think
Io
her title run has been fucking dog shit too.
I think Io's going to cash in regardless.
Yeah, but I just think about if we got to Survivor Series and saw Rollins versus Reigns,
Mm-hmm.
okay? If you saw what's his name, Theory against Gunther. If you saw if Charlotte can get it, Charlotte versus Ripley. Right? If you saw we need the tag team championships to break. And by the way, I gotta say, I witnessed one of the greatest tag team matches I've ever seen in my life with the Viking Raiders
And
against.
Alpha Academy,
Did you see it, bro?
the Viking. What's it called? The Viking. Was the Viking Rules one, or they did another
Yes.
one? Yeah,
Yes,
fucking.
dude, that
Thank
match
you.
was fucking sick.
I'm telling you, man, Viking Raiders they're
Bro.
a top tag team, bro. If they just let them run, they just gotta let them run. Just let them run. I'm telling you.
That was an epic,
And-
epic.
To be honest, adding Maxine Dupree into Alpha Academy is such a smart move.
Yeah.
It was such
Time
a
for
smart move.
Chad Gable push.
I'm all down for a Chad Gable push. That guy's doing
Bro.
insane things.
No, that was a great.
What happened to Gargano? Is he not under contract?
He's injured.
He's injured.
I'm pretty sure he's injured. Yeah, he's got to be coming back though because Tommaso's back. I want to see DIY come back honestly in a big way. I think DIY would be the perfect tag team to go up against Sammy and KO and eventually take the titles off of them.
I'll take anybody taking the tag teams belts off them. Anybody, anybody. Dude. Honestly, I'll take fucking Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler taking the belts off them, and I want Ronda Rousey to just disappear now. I'll take anybody ending that title run.
They got their own.
It's awful. It's bad, dude. I can't do this anymore. Honestly, this makes me miss, the Road Warriors, Legion of Doom. This makes
Legion
me
of
miss.
Doom,
This
man.
makes me miss.
Go.
But that's the thing is, like, they have the teams in the company right now to do a fucking great tag team division.
Yeah, and the belts are buried with Sami Zayn and
I
KO.
mean, the belts have been buried for fucking years. They were buried with the Usos too.
Oh, but the Usos
You
were
know?
a great tag team,
Yeah, I mean,
and they would put on matches with
the New Day
the New
over and
Day
over and over and over again.
and the New Day and
The New Day.
no, who is the other?
I literally watched 10 straight pay-per-views where it was
And I would.
the New Day.
But you
over
and I, but
and over
you and,
again.
you and I would also watch the Hardy Boys versus Christian
I mean,
and Edge
true,
10 straight
yeah.
times.
True.
So,
Yeah.
But,
when
but
there's
back then,
time.
they only had 3 tag teams.
But
There was 4
but-
tag teams. There's
but
the New Age Outlaws, the Hardys, Edge and Christian, and the Dudleys. That's
But-
all we had.
But the thing with it is the uniqueness of tag team matches is that there's so much going on, and when they're great, they're fucking great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's different than
Facts.
Brock and Roman. One-on-one,
Yeah.
one-on-one, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we can watch it. So I'm good with watching New Day and the Usos fucking fight every pay-per-view because we got awesome matches with different finishes. So yeah, I'm good with it. And as long as I need KO and Sammy both to get injured, broken legs, I need them to relinquish the belts and separate them. And I need to see some new tag team champions. And I need to see some good Street Profits, Viking Raiders. I need to see something that
Pretty
people-
deadly.
Pretty
What about Pretty Deadly?
Pretty dead in.
Yes,
Awesome
boy.
heels. Awesome heels.
They're fucking fantastic. I knew, and the best thing is, I knew too because I watched them in NXT, and I know you don't want to watch NXT.
No.
Right? I was like, John's gonna fucking love this team when they get up to the main roster. And the first thing you said was when you saw him was like, "Who are these fucking guys?" Like, what the fuck? I was like, just give it time, bro. Trust me on this.
It caught me so off guard. It actually made me feel borderline uncomfortable because I was like, he's like wearing a halter top. Like, this is awkward.
Yeah.
And I'm like sitting there with my wife, and I'm like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I want to love these guys, but I feel very uncomfortable right now. And then they got on the mic, and I was like, I love these guys, and I love their outfits. Like, it just they reeled me.
It works for
right
them
in.
though. The halter tops work for them.
They reeled me right in. It was it. I was like, man, dude, they're awesome. I need belts around these guys.
This is what happens. See, like I'm a tag team guy. I've always been a tag team guy, and I told John a while ago about the Viking Raiders. He's like, whatever. They kind of suck. Whatever. Every time he sees a Viking Raiders match now, he's like, this is the greatest match I've ever seen in my
But
life.
I said it to you though.
I know.
I said what you said. You were right. You won me over.
Yeah,
I
no,
gave
no,
you
that's what I
credit.
mean.
You
No. I'm
you
just
put
saying,
them
like,
on the map, and I was like, come on, Zoop, like these guys suck. And then all of a sudden I'm watching matches, and I'm like, holy shit, these guys are fucking good. Like, these guys are really good. Like,
Yeah.
this is why my mind was blown. And I'm like, look at this fat guy who's like doing backflips. I said, this is why Zooplex loves this guy. It's his cousin. Look at this guy. Like, it was epic. No, it was a great call, bro. I give credit. It was a great
no,
call.
absolutely.
It was a great call.
Absolutely.
They won me over. I'm a big fan. Alpha Academy is better.
Alpha
And
Academy's definitely got the comedy side to it.
Yeah.
Like, because I mean, it's just so fun watching Otis and Gable. But Gable's doing amazing things right now. Like, he's looking more and more like Kurt Angle every day, which is insane.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
in his face, like not even just like in the ring. Like,
he's morphing. He's morphing.
yeah, he's like morphing into Kurt Angle, like old
Didn't he
Kurt
do
Angle.
some like weird move where he like double suplex somebody, like 2 people at once or something.
He did a rolling German suplex on
Yeah.
Braun Strowman.
Yep.
On
Oh,
Braun
right.
Strowman.
Yep. Now, and
Strowman's got
who's the
4
big
feet
one?
on him.
Who's your cousin in the Viking Raiders? What's his name?
Ivar.
Ivar. Yeah. He did it to Ivar. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God. He's a legend. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's shush. Yeah. It's won me over. Listen, dude, honestly, I apologize really to you guys. My schedule's been all over the place. I'm glad we got on tonight to do this. This is
Me too.
exactly what
Me
I
too,
needed.
man. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
And I got some ideas coming up that I think are going to be fun for us to delve into. I'm thinking of a little randomizer where we pick a match off of Peacock once a week and we just watch it and then break it down.
I like it.
Interesting.
I like
Yeah.
it. I like it, dude. Listen, I really, at the end of the day, the summer sucks for me. My schedule's so fucking stupid.
Yeah,
But
you and me both, brother.
it's tough. But
Look, I've been all over the place myself. So,
but like today, I was like, oh, I'll be home at around 8:00, right? 8:30. And then you guys kind of said it, and I'm like, I'm in if we could do this.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
there's a lot going on and whatever, and we definitely got to do the SummerSlam. So whatever
Oh
else,
yeah, absolutely.
we'll do the SummerSlam together.
And it's at a normal time finally.
Yes.
It's the first pay-per-view that's in the US this year.
Exactly. No more 1 o'clock in the afternoons.
Yeah, it's in the very, very good, honest, safe city of Detroit. I'm sure everyone wants to go there. It's a great tourist spot. All the empty warehouses and crime. No problem. Good spot. Okay. It's just good.
They'll be in a big dome. They'll be all right.
Yeah, no problem. You just don't want to go outside the stadium.
Yeah, exactly.
No big deal. Yes, come inside the stadium. It's great. SummerSlam outside the stadium.
That's everywhere.
Robbed
There's a
at
football
gunpoint.
stadium.
Cool. All right, good.
Go find a football stadium somewhere. I'm sure there's a dangerous section right outside.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Detroit's a little bit more, but I hear you. Yes, you're not exactly getting robbed at gunpoint at MetLife Stadium, but you're definitely going to happen in Detroit. But no big deal. All good. To each their own. Guys, thank you, man.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys jumping on. Everybody out there, we're gonna try and get back to a weekly podcast for this weekly, non-weekly podcast that we've been doing. So hopefully we can see you again next week. If not, well, the next time we'll see you is SummerSlam. But thank you. Make sure you guys like, follow, and subscribe. Everything on GGen. We love you guys all. Share us if you like it. What we're saying, make sure you come back, bring a friend, tell a friend, whatever you got to do. Let's try and boost up the channel a little bit, guys. We're trying to grow this year. We're really trying to grow this year. So,
Condom. Go.
It's got to be all on you guys to help us do it. So, we're out of here, and thank you.
Penitentiary.
The Alpha Academy. Later, guys.
Condom. Goat.